What's up, guys? How we doing? I figured I'd give you a little bit different look today. I went out to the backyard, so this is Cliff Notes. I'm gonna get you caught up on everything going on heading into Atlanta. So this week they're heading to Atlanta, and we're not talking the Atlanta Georgia Dome or anything indoors. We're going out to the Speedway, much like we did last year when Nate Thrasher was so successful out there. He had 2 wins, his only career 2 wins. So we'll see. I'm going to run down the 450s on what to watch for, who's out. Eli Tomac. This is a storybook season for him. I mean, I expected him to be good on the Yamaha, but to be breaking records, coming up on all time, like this is the biggest point lead that I can remember in a long time. He's got 56 points on everybody. 56 points. And guess what? He's not signed for 2023 yet, or he might be. Any day now. It's inevitable. There's no chance he goes anywhere else. He either retires or rides with Star because that is just too good of a fit. Jason Anderson, still pushing. The guy shoulda, woulda, coulda. I mean, there's so many things that could have just changed this, that, and he'd be right in it for the title. Unfortunately, he's not. He hasn't been quite the same since he hit his head at Detroit, but he's still there each week and battling. Justin Barcia has been a pleasant surprise. He's in 3rd in the points, and he's right there every week. He hasn't got a win yet, but, I mean, he is knocking on the door. Like, 1 or 2 good breaks, and he'll get a win. But, man, it's got to be frustrating for the other guys to have him up there all the time. Knowing how he rides, there's a certain amount of uncertainty around Barcia. You never know when he's going to go Barcia. It's like having an exotic pet, something that is usually really cool. If you own a tiger, every once in a while it's going to bite somebody, and that's what Barcia is. Barcia is literally the tiger, that exotic animal that is really cool, usually sweet as pie, but every once in a while he bites you. Malcolm Stewart. Okay, I love Malcolm. I think I'm not alone in saying almost everybody wants Malcolm to get a win. Oh, and how bad does that Daytona mistake look? A track where he was the fastest guy, won his heat, and looked to be in contention for a win, and he went bananas on Anderson. Well, now that win seems so far away. He doesn't look like a guy who's going to win a race. He looks like a guy who's kind of lost his mojo. Hope I'm wrong. Maybe this outdoor speedway will give him a little bit of, kind of let him stretch his legs a little bit. I don't know how bad his legs hurt from last week, but he did ride the 3rd race, so it couldn't be too bad. At least I'm hoping. Marvin Musquin, he could win, he could get 7th. I don't know. Marvin is Marvin. Marvin's a guy, I cannot believe this guy doesn't have a ride for 2023 or even the outdoors. That's a shame. I mean, he's holding it down for KTM while Cooper Webb was injured last week, not riding good, hasn't won. Aaron Plessinger, that's their darling that they got. That's going to be the next guy. He's out hurt. It's sad that he gets as little respect as he does. I mean, Marvin's been the fastest guy with the worst results all year. So, yeah. Cooper Webb, supposed to be back. I don't know. I mean, what do you expect from Cooper at this point? I mean, it's been a historically bad title defense. He's back in the Baker's factory. But I don't know how much work they could do if he was injured from a crash, so we'll see. I almost think at this point you just get through this season. If you can get a win, great. If you don't, and just regroup for 23. Yeah. Chase Sexton. This guy is, I like Sexton. I believe he is the future of the sport, him and Jet Lawrence. He's 22. If he can keep, and I've been an open critic of they just keep running him out there after these big crashes and these head injuries. If you have a big crash, no problem. But if you have a head injury, I have a problem with running you back out there. If you hit it again, who knows what could happen? Maybe nothing, maybe something career ending. But I love what he's doing. He's branding himself. He's a complete badass. He takes no shit from anyone. He's got the blonde hair. I love that he's building the brand. And guess what? When he starts winning all the time, that blonde hair is going to be cool. Everyone's going to be running there. He's going to bring back the bleach look. I love it. Keep the M&M look. I love your branding, Chase. You are onto something. Think about the guys we have out right now. We have a lot of good riders who are not able to compete. Dean Wilson, who took a foot peg in the ass last week. Yeah, whole separate subject, but I don't know about these big foot pegs with these razor blades on them. They're a bit dangerous, but I remember I hit something about this a couple years ago and talked to a few of the riders. They said they'd rather have a razor on their foot than lose the foot peg because they think that's more dangerous. So yeah, maybe we've hit that point where they're too sharp. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. And we see it quite a bit these days where just these pants are getting shredded, and maybe the pants are too thin. Maybe it's because we're using this little tiny material. I'm not sure. Dylan Ferrandis, he's out. He seems to be doing prep. Roxon, who knows what's going on with Roxon? He's supposed to be back for outdoors. HRC expects him back. I don't, so we'll see. Anstie, McElrath, Savachi. Savachi was out with an injury. McElrath faked this. Okay, you guys know I'm a concussion advocate, and if you get a concussion, I strongly recommend they sit out the adequate amount of time. That was complete BS that McElrath used the concussion to get out of last week. He was part of the whole Rocky Mountain team walkout. I'm not sure why he didn't, if there's legal reasons or something that he didn't admit why he left. But I promise you, if that team wasn't having problems, he would have raced. Cincerillo, Plessinger, I mean, there's a lot of dudes out. Like, hey, but then you got to watch for guys like Ryan Brees, Justin Starling. You're going to see Bogle, Hartraft. This is a great opportunity. And when it's all said and done at the end of a couple of years, when they look back at the results, they're not going to remember everybody was out. They're going to say, oh, dude, your career, dude, you got a 6th, you got a 5th. Those are good results. I don't care who's in the field. If you can do this at an AMA Monster Energy Supercross, I don't care who's injured. That's really, really good. So 250 shootout. Yes, I said shootout, not showdown. But by the way, what's the difference? A shootout is two people who shoot at each other. A showdown is when you are like at high noon getting ready to shoot each other. I like shootout. I think it's better. I think it sounds better. I don't like to be politically correct. They can kiss my ass. So I'm calling it a shootout. Is this going to be Jet versus Craig? Absolutely not. I don't think so. I look for guys like Hunter, Mosman, Hampshire. I would love to see Freezy get a win, but I don't know that he has the speed, especially on the bigger track like the Speedway. Are we going to see Pierce Brown get his first? Are we going to see Oldenburg get in the mix? What about Joe Schmoda? He's won in the past. He hasn't won this year. It's been pretty tough. Are we going to see Marchbanks? Nate Thrasher won 2 times there last year. Jalek Swoll won outdoors but hasn't won indoors. He did have that big crash at the beginning. I'm excited. Honestly, the 250s right now, that's a big deal, the shootout. It's going to be fun this weekend. So anyway, guys, that's it for Cliff Notes. Hope you enjoy this weekend at the Speedway. And yeah, let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe too, because yeah, if you guys want to help me take over the moto industry and this ridiculous media censoring of bullshit that's going on, just subscribe. That's it. That's all you got to do. And all I can tell you is I'll give you what I think and my honest opinion, and that's it. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but you're going to get authenticity with me. Thanks, guys. Peace.